Hey, I'm ThePixelPundit, and today we're taking a look at Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. It's a tactical RPG that's basically what you get if Final Fantasy and 3D chess had a baby, and then that baby decided to punish your poor decision making skills. I've spent some time with it, and here's how it holds up today. At its core, Final Fantasy Tactics is a turn-based strategy RPG built around positioning, planning, and patience. You command small squads of characters across grid-based battlefields. Every movement, every ability, and every height difference matters. This isn't your usual Final Fantasy where you mash attack or spam spells. No, this one demands you stop, think, and occasionally curse at your own tactical blunders. What makes it fun, though, is how flexible it is. You can play it your way, go full grinder mode, and roll into story battles with an overpowered dream team, or just coast through the story, casually enjoying the politics, betrayals, and drama that define Ivalice. The real magic of Tactics is the job system. Every character has a main job, knight, wizard, monk, or whatever, and you can pair that with skills from other jobs you've unlocked. That mix and match system creates endless possibilities. Want a white mage that punches people into the stratosphere? Go for it. Sure, there are cookie cutter builds that'll carry you easily, but the real joy comes from experimenting, trying weird combos, failing, and finally finding that one synergy that breaks the game in just the right way. Gear plays a big part too. As you progress, better equipment changes not just the stats, but strategy. It's the kind of game that almost dares you to replay it just to test out something new. The Ivalice Chronicles version adds new voice acting and slightly updated visuals, and it actually works. The voices fit surprisingly well and don't cheapen the tone at all.
I will not ask again. Where are they?
The desert! They're in the desert.
The art style still holds up. The sprite work and battle animations have that classic charm that only older Final Fantasy games can pull off. The soundtrack, still fantastic. Maybe a little loud, but nothing a quick volume tweak can't fix. It captures that sweeping, heroic energy that defines the series. If you want the classic version, it's still an option. Let's be honest, Final Fantasy Tactics has a learning curve, and a big one. Between job synergy, equipment choices, and the infamous horoscope system that affects character compatibility, it can feel overwhelming early on. The game doesn't hold your hand, and there's a lot to take in before things start to click. Then there's the map design itself, and this is where frustration really sets in. Elevation changes can make it impossible to cast certain spells, and those half-level height differences can block attacks or movements in ways that feel unfair. If you misplace a unit, you might find yourself unable to revive a fallen ally, and once those hearts fade away, that character is gone for good. As for the horoscope system, I tried to care. Really, I spent about 2 hours finding the perfect characters to recruit, thinking I had it all figured out. Then I watched a few other players and realized I made a total blunder. At that point, I just stopped worrying about it. It can be meaningful early on, but once your squad gets strong enough, you can brute force through most of the encounters and ignore it entirely. And while it's a Final Fantasy in name, it plays nothing like the main series. Sure, you'll see familiar spells like Ifrit and Shiva, but this is a tactical chess set in a Final Fantasy world. For some players, that's perfect. For others, it might feel completely alien. This is one of those games that never really dies, because theory crafting keeps it alive. The amount of community knowledge, job guides, and deep dive discussions is insane. Back when this came out, you had to beg your parents to hang up the phone so you could look for tips online. Now, the internet's packed with resources. That said, don't spoil it for yourself. Half the fun is figuring out things on your own. Testing builds, learning from failure, and watching your ideas actually work in battle. Final Fantasy Tactics is one of those rare games that still feels special decades later. For me, it was a childhood favorite. I didn't get to own it at home, so revisiting it now feels like catching up with an old friend. But I'll be real, this won't be for everyone. If you're expecting fast-paced Final Fantasy action, You might bounce off the slower, methodical gameplay. But if you enjoy deep strategy, endless customization, and stories that actually have weight, this one's absolutely worth your time. If you're on the fence, maybe wait for a sale. But whenever you dive in, it's a world worth revisiting. So, that's my take on Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Did you play the original back in the day, or are you diving into it fresh? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I always love hearing about your experiences and any hidden gems. I'm the Pixel Pundit, and your next review is waiting right here. I'll see you there.